What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I will be recapping week 3 of the 2022 college football season. Pretty good week of college football. I mean, every single week of college football is a good week of college football to me, especially when my Alabama Crimson Tide win. Roll Tide, roll. But I'll get to more of that in a second. If you like college football, I'm your guy. I do rants, highlights, predictions, recaps, yada, 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 everything college football. So if you like college football, subscribe. But let me hop into it. The top five teams. Number 5 Clemson beat Louisiana Tech 48-20. About what I expected. They didn't quite cover the spread. It was about what I expected. DJ looked better. I'll give DJ that. DJ did look better. And Clemson did look more impressive overall. They gave up 20 to Louisiana Tech, but a lot of that came in garbage time. But DJ did look better, a lot better. I still don't think DJ is the answer at quarterback for the Clemson Tigers, but Clemson's offense did look better. Their defense, I'm a big believer in their defense. I think their defense is really good. It's that offense that is the question. But a good performance against a pretty decent team in Louisiana Tech. And I think Clemson is going to keep improving and keep improving. But the real question to me is, can DJ turn into the star quarterback he's supposed to be? And I'm leaning a hard no on that right now. But number 5 Clemson beat Louisiana Tech 48-20. Then the number 4 team in the nation, Michigan, beat UConn 59-0. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have much to say about this game. I mean, it's about what I expected. Michigan just beat up on UConn. When you take one of the best teams in the entire country, with one of the worst teams in the entire FBS, this is what you get. 59-0. Michigan dominated. J.J. McCarthy looked very good, very accurate, very good. Their backup quarterback, they went into the year with a quarterback battle between J.J. McCarthy and Caden McNamara. J.J. McCarthy won the quarterback battle. Caden McNamara came out of the game with an injury, but J.J.'s already been decided as the starter. But I think Michigan's a very good team. Jim Harbaugh, great coach. And I think if Michigan can continue to play well and JJ can continue to improve, JJ can be a very outside dark horse Heisman candidate. But good win by Michigan. Then number 3 Ohio State beat Toledo 77-21. Yeah, this wasn't close at all. I thought this was going to be much closer. Toledo's a pretty decent team. I'll give them that. I'll give Toledo credit. And Ohio State absolutely laid a whooping on them. I mean, C.J. Stroud looked amazing. I mean, it just looked like the guy couldn't miss. Touchdowns after touchdowns after touchdowns. Little incompletions. And Stroud, I think with this game, I'm not doing my Heisman watch till about the beginning of October, end of September. So about next week or two. But Stroud right now, I think you can make a serious case as the Heisman frontrunner. C.J. Stroud looked amazing. Then, my Alabama Crimson Tide. Roll Tide, roll. Number 2 Alabama destroyed UOM 63-7. I predicted 63-10, 63-7. I'll take that all day. I could nitpick all day, and I will. Bryce Young didn't look that great, but I mean, he's Bryce Young for one, and two, it's UOM. He didn't need to look great. 2 interceptions. One of them was terrible, just a bad throw. Some bad decisions from him all game. I don't get it. But like I said, he is Bryce Young. Alabama scored 63. What else more can you say? I don't know. We're lucky we played UOM because our offense, I'm very worried. It is worrying me a lot, our offense. And that's not something I thought I would say. But between Bill O'Brien being a horrendous play caller and between this team, for whatever reason, not having chemistry at all, that's something some previous Alabama teams had. You look at 2018, 2019, Tua had amazing chemistry. The chemistry was amazing between Tua and Najee and Judy and Smith and Waddle and Ruggs. The chemistry was there. Look at 2020. The chemistry between Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Najee Harris, it was there. And this offense just doesn't feel like it has that chemistry. It doesn't feel like it has that bond. Maybe it's due to all the transfers. But I believe I can get ourselves right. I don't mean to sound too negative. I don't want to sound negative after a 63-7 win. Either way, I'll take that all day. Roll, Tide, roll. But I do have some concerns. Jahmyr Gibbs looks amazing. I'm so glad we have Jahmyr Gibbs. He looks like a baby Alvin Kamara. And he's really holding this offense together right now. Will Anderson got a pick six. Shout out Will Anderson, the best defensive player in the nation, with the pick six. And I believe, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on this, research into this, but I believe Alabama scored an offensive touchdown, a defensive touchdown, and a special teams touchdown, all within 7 minutes of the game, which is an FBS record for the fastest time to score in all three phases of the game. But that's enough about Alabama. Roll, Tide, roll. Next, Georgia. Oh boy. Number 1 Georgia absolutely demolished South Carolina. 48-7. 48-7. Spread on this game was 24. I predicted 17. Safe to say I was wrong. Georgia absolutely demolished, and it was an impressive. It was an insanely impressive win. Spencer Rattler looked awful. I'm not taking anything away from Georgia, but South Carolina played one of the worst games I've seen South Carolina play. Spencer Rattler is not as advertised. He is not that guy. I've been rooting for Spencer Rattler since he's coming out of high school. I had nothing against the guy. But plain and simple, the guy is not him. He's not him. He was throwing straight to the defense, getting flustered, not throwing in front of his receivers. And I know Georgia's got an amazing defense, but you have to make those throws. If you're hyped up as a top transfer quarterback, a 5-star quarterback, a Heisman dark horse, you have to make those throws versus good opponents. And he did not. He failed. Not only that, the South Carolina defense may have been even worse. They were just falling for play after play. Everything Georgia schemed up was good. They were making Stetson Bennett, of all people, the mailman. They were making him look like the next version of Michael Vick. They made Stetson Bennett look like Vanilla Vick. And I'm not taking anything away from Georgia, and I'm not taking anything away from Stetson Bennett. They're amazing. They're clearly, to me, the number 1 team in the nation, even though I love my Crimson Tide, and I would take my Crimson Tide in a matchup at neutral site today. But clearly they have earned that number 1 spot. But South Carolina played a just piss poor ball game. They didn't score until under a minute left. That's terrible. That's my little rant about that. Georgia looks very impressive. Looks like they could repeat. Possibly. Only thing standing in their way, to me, is Alabama and Ohio State. Then, some of our random matchups. Number 6, Oklahoma laid a whooping on Nebraska, 49-14. I said Oklahoma would cover. And after that, I went back and forth. I was like, I shouldn't have picked them to cover. But I was totally right. Oklahoma absolutely destroyed Nebraska. Wasn't even close. Dylan Gabriel looks amazing. He looks as advertised. He looks good. Next great quarterback in the line of good quarterbacks, Oklahoma. The Sooners are legit, man. The Sooners are legit. I'm a big believer in Brent Venables. I've seen what he did as defensive coordinator at Clemson. I believe he'll make an awesome head coach at Oklahoma, and he's already showing that. Nebraska fired Scott Frost, and Mickey Joseph didn't look much better. But we'll see for the future of the Nebraska program. And Oklahoma has a bright, bright future as they get a big win here at Nebraska in Lincoln. Then, oh boy, number 22 Penn State demolished the Auburn Tigers, 41-12. I told y'all go back. Y'all go back to that prediction video. I specifically said Penn State would whoop Auburn in their own stadium, and it wouldn't even be close. I said by 28, Penn State won by 26. I was close enough. But this was an absolute whooping of a game. Penn State absolutely demolished. I'm very high on Penn State. I think Penn State's a great team, and I don't think Auburn is a good team at all. So this is a no-brainer to me, as Penn State just absolutely destroyed Auburn. Auburn needs to get their quarterback play right. Their quarterback play is not good. Their defense isn't good. Auburn needs to get everything right, and their coaching isn't good either. But as an Alabama fan, I thoroughly enjoy Auburn being very bad. Then our next game, this was a head scratcher. Arkansas beat Missouri State 38-27. For you guys that watched this game, what the hell happened? For all my Arkansas fans watching, what the hell happened? Missouri State, coached by the former Arkansas coach and scumbag Bobby Petrino, but he's a hell of a coach, and he proved it the other day. I mean, going toe-to-toe with Arkansas, with Missouri State, with an SEC program. I mean, Missouri State shot up 17-0, and Arkansas didn't get a lead till midway through the fourth quarter. Arkansas is very lucky they got out of that game. Arkansas is looking suspicious. I had Arkansas only losing one game, and that's to my Alabama Crimson Tide. But they continue to play like this. They can't play against teams like Ole Miss, and I don't even remember who they have on their schedule. Tennessee, Florida, Kentucky, LSU. I mean, these top SEC contenders, they can't play like that against SEC contenders, or they will lose. So very, very weird game for Arkansas as they beat Missouri State 38-27. Then Florida beat South Florida 31-28. Another SEC team that almost got upset by a non-Power 5 opponent. This one was scary for Florida fans. I personally enjoyed it. I don't like Florida, but Florida got extremely, extremely lucky. I mean, South Florida was driving. They were driving to the end zone. 2nd and 8 from the 18, I believe, if I remember correctly. 2nd and 8. And then the snap was just terrible. One of the worst snaps I've seen. Just skid along the ground, and that backed them up 20 yards or so. And then they couldn't do anything on 3rd down. They went to kick a long field goal to send it to overtime. And the holder absolutely botched the hold. I mean, it was laying flat on the ground the way it isn't supposed to when he went to kick that ball. I mean, it was bad. Bad hold. The kicker missed it. The kicker, honestly impressive. South Florida's kicker even got it close to the crossbar, because he almost made it, despite the absolutely horrendous hold. But Florida barely escapes with a win over South Florida, 31-28. Anthony Richardson does not look good. I said to not overreact to Anthony Richardson. I did call him a dark horse Heisman contender, and I'll eat my words on that. But that was mainly because people were calling him one. I said he was being called that, and if he continues to play like he did versus Utah, if he did, he'd be a dark horse Heisman contender. But I never actually bought that he would be this top 15 quarterback, like top 15 draft pick, Heisman finalist. No, I never bought that at all. And he didn't play good. I mean, interception straight to the defense. He just can't pass the ball. effectively. He has to improve on that. Then Washington beat Michigan State 39-28. I did not see this one coming. I thought Michigan State would win this ball game. I was wrong. Washington absolutely dominated. Hey, and what can you say? Washington looks to be a very good football team. Washington had a bad year last year. One of the worst years in program history, I think. But they are bouncing back this season. And Michael Penix is him. I remember Michael Penix, that 2020 year at Indiana. Michael Penix looked very good. And then he got some injuries. 2021 didn't look great. And now he's transferred to Washington, and he leads the Pac-12 in yards and touchdowns so far. I mean, Michael Penix is him. He looks like the guy. He looks like a dark horse Heisman contender. And Michigan State had high hopes for Michigan State, and they let me down. This game wasn't really close despite what the scoreboard says. Washington thumped Michigan State 39-28. And then LSU come back to beat Mississippi State 31-16. This was our only true upset of the week. Not many upsets, a lot of near upsets, but not many upsets. Neither of these teams were ranked, but it is an SEC high-profile matchup. LSU beat Mississippi State. Mississippi State had the lead for most of the game. I believe they were upset 16-0 at one point. Don't quote me on that. And I'll give LSU credit. I'm not high on Jaden Daniels. I'm not high on Brian Kelly after what I've seen. But I'll give them credit for facing adversity. My bad. Adversity. And coming back from a deficit like that. LSU played one heck of a ball game in the second half. And got to give credits where it's due. I don't like LSU, but they played one hell of a ball game. Beat Ojulari, the LSU defensive end, is going to be a first-round draft pick. And LSU picks up a much-needed win against Mississippi State. Then a ranked versus ranked matchup, of which we only had two this week. Number 25 Oregon beat number 12 BYU 41-20. This wasn't close either. I was wrong on this one. I never picked BYU to win big games, but I stuck my neck out for the Mormons this one time, and they let me down. Oregon absolutely just thumped BYU. Bo Nix looked good, as much as that sentence disgusts me to say. Bo Nix did look good. And there's nothing more or else I can say than BYU is not the team I thought they were. I thought they would be much better after getting that road win versus Baylor. But, or was it a home win? I can't remember. It was a big win versus Baylor. And I thought they were potentially a contender. But no, they are a pretender as Oregon beats them 41-20. The most hyped up game going into the week. What I called the game of the week. Number 24 Texas A&M beat number 13 Miami 17-9. And this game of the week was boring. This was a bore fest of a game. I didn't like it. I don't like Texas A&M. I was rooting for Miami. I thought Miami was going to win. But alas, they didn't. I was a big believer in Miami's quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke. And he just proved me wrong. I mean, he played awful. I thought he was going to play a great game. He played awful. Miami didn't score a single touchdown in this game. Pathetic. And they had opportunities. It's not like A&M played a flawless game. A&M didn't play a great game by any stretch. Miami just did not take the opportunities. They did not take the chances Texas A&M gave them. But it's sad to see Texas A&M beat Miami 17-9. Max Johnson stepped in for quarterback at Texas A&M. Looked much better than Haynes King. Still not a great Texas A&M offense, but I digress. Jimbo Fisher and the Aggies come away with the win in Week 3. And the last game I cover, the best game of the entire week. Appalachian State beat the Troy Trojans 32-28. Game day went to this. I thought it was stupid that game day would go to it. I thought it wouldn't be interesting, but oh boy, what a game! And give y'all some context. Troy was winning. What was it? 24, 25, 26. I don't remember. They were up 28 to something. But I'm sorry, I know that sounds stupid. My memory is bad. But they were up, I believe, 4 with only like 30 seconds left. Gave the ball back to Appalachian State to Chase Bryce, and he heaved it up to the end zone. And it was batted around and juggled and caught by a receiver, and he turned the corner and got the touchdown. The Hail Mary to beat Troy. It was absolutely electric for the Mountaineers. College game day coming to them, and on top of that, they beat their rival Troy on a Hail Mary. Oh, what a game for Appalachian State. All credit to them. They beat Texas A&M last week. They beat Troy this week with everybody watching. What a game. What a good game to watch. I was rooting for Troy because I'm in Alabama, but Appalachian State, man, great team, great coach team. What more can you say other than wow? Great win for Appalachian State, and that was a hell of a ball game. What do you guys think? How did you think your favorite team performed? What do you think was the best game of the week? Give me all your thoughts and opinions on this week of college football down in the comments below. But for now, that'll be all from me. See you next time.